chapter 12, the prince and his deliverer. The prince and his deliverer. Now, deliverer means here miles-handed. Please note it down. Miles-handed. Now we know in chapter 11, miles-handed rescues the prince from the troublesome people at Guildhall, and he runs away with the prince. After that, Hendon takes the prince to his lodge, L-O-D-G-E, lodge. Lodge means his hotel, where he has been staying. The prince and his deliverer. Now, in this chapter, we are going to discuss prince's experiences with this new friend. New friend is Miles Hendon. Okay. Now let's read it. As soon as Miles Hendon and the little prince were clear of the mob, they struck down through back lanes and alleys toward the river. As soon as Miles Hendon and the little prince were clear, clear means remove away from, safe from the mob. Mob means the people. They struck down through, went down through back lanes. Back lanes means secret lanes, and alleys means secret roads. Back lanes and roads toward the river. Their way was unobstructed. Unobstructed means not troubled until they approached London Bridge. Finally, they come to London Bridge. They finally come to London Bridge. Then they plowed into the multitude again. Plowed means went. They went into the multitude. Multitude means people, group of people or crowd of people. Hendon keeping a fast grip, holding fast. Fast grip means hold fast. Prince's hand, grip upon the princess. No, king's. Now he's really the prince. He's the king now because his father is dead. Therefore, Prince of Wales is the King of England now. Right? The tremendous news was already abroad. What is this tremendous news? Henry's death. Tremendous news means Henry's death. Now, news of Henry's death is abroad. Well, spreading. Abroad means spreading now. Abroad. Already abroad. And the boy learned it. The prince learned it from 1,000 voices across. 1,000 people shouts, speaks about this bad news. The king is dead. Now, this is the bad news. The king is dead. The tidings struck a chill to the heart of the poor little waif. The tidings, this bad news, struck means attack or gave a chill. Chill means some sort of sorrow, deep grief, sorrow, to the little bitter, to the little poor little wife. The poor little wife. It's a metaphor. Wife. It's a metaphor. What is the idea? It refers to the prince. It means the prince. What is the idea? Homeless person, destitute person. Now, the prince is homeless. Now he has no home. Not only home, now he has no parents now. He's an orphan now. That is why writer used these words, wave. Underline these words are very important. He was filled with bitter grief. Now, Prince is full of bitter grief, bitter pain. Grief means pain. Because the grim tyrant means King Henry. It's another metaphor. The grim tyrant, that bad man, grim tyrant means bad man. It means Henry, who had been such a terror. Henry is a terrific character, dangerous character to others. Others means to the country and the people. For the country and the people, Henry is a very dangerous character. Terror. He's a terror. So, had always been, underlined that Henry has always been gentle with him. He means the prince. Henry has been a gentle father to the prince. For the country, Henry is a bad ruler, wicked ruler. But for the prince, Henry is a gentle father. Right? As a father, Henry is a good man. But as a ruler, Henry is a bad guy. The tears sprung to his eyes. The tears came to Prince's eyes. Now he is crying because now father is dead, but he cannot go to see him. He cannot go to attend his father's funeral because he does not know way back to palace. And even if he knew, no one would allow him to go into the palace. Right? Now he's very helpless situation. Therefore he cries. And sprung, came to his eyes and blurred. Blurred means blotted. Blurred all objects. He cannot see anything. Right? He cannot see anything. For an instant he felt, underlined. Page 12, chapter 12, first paragraph, for those who came new. Chapter 12, first paragraph. For an instant, for a moment, he felt, underlined, he felt the most forlorn, outcast, and forsaken of God's creatures, underlined. Now, the prince is filled with lonely feelings. Forlorn means lonely. Lonely. He feels lonely because there is no one for him now. He had only his father. Now their father is also a dead man. Outcast, thrown away, discarded, outcast, and forsaken, abandoned, given up by God from his creatures. Now human are regarded as God's creatures, God's sons and daughters. Now the prince feels he is not even the son of God. This is self-sympathy, Atmanukam. The prince is filled with self-sympathy now. Then another cry shook the night with as its far-reaching thunders. Now people cry loudly like thunders, thunderous sounds. What do they say? Long live Edward VI, long live Edward VI. Now they express their vicious greetings to the new king, Edward VI. But the real king, real Edward VI, is outside the palace. There is a false Edward VI inside the palace. That is Tom. Now, this made his eyes kindle. These sounds make the prince's eyes kindle, shine, thrilled, be happy, with pride. To his fingers said. To his fingers said means extreme. Extremely prince is filled with pride. He is proud now. Why? He is a king now. But this kingship is only nominal. It's a nominal kingship. Why? He has no palace. He has no crown. He has no throne. He has not the power in his hand. Therefore, this kingship is nominal as well as paradoxical. It's a paradox. Why? He is a king, but he has no power. Paradox. He is a rich man, but he has no money. Paradox. It's a writing technique. Paradox. Right? And made the skies kindle and thrilled him with pride to his fingers' end. Underline. Now these are Prince's proud feelings. He thought, how grand and strange it seems. I am king. I am king now. But useless kingship. He is a king without a palace. He is king without a throne. He is king without a crown. No crown, no palace, no throne. It means no power. Only a nominal king. Nominal king. King only for the name. King only for the name. A paradoxical king. Right. Now, let's write down something about that part. Okay. Chapter 12, the prince and his deliverer. The prince and his deliverer. Write down. In this chapter, Mark Twain depicts the prince's new experiences. The prince's new experiences. The prince's new experiences with his savior. S-A-V-I-O-U-R. Savior means protector. With his savior, miles-handed. With his savior, miles-handed. Miles-handed. Miles-handed, full stop. Keep the book by you open. Hendon, next sentence. Hendon rescues the prince. R-E-S-C-U-S. Hendon rescues the prince. Hendon rescues the prince from the unruly people, U-N-R-U-L-Y, unruly people at Guildhall. Guildhall, write in correct spelling, at Guildhall. And escape through the city. Escape through the city. From the people. Next sentence. From the people. From the people. The prince, from the people, the prince comes to know that, his father is dead. His father is dead. King Henry. His father is dead. This sorrowful news, next sentence. This sorrowful news fills the prince's heart. The sorrowful news fills the prince's heart with a bitter grief. Bitter grief. GRIF, grief. King Henry, next sentence. King Henry is a tyrannical ruler. Tyrannical. TYRI double NICAL. TYRI double NICAL. Tyrannical ruler or wicked, bad ruler. Tyrannical ruler means bad king. Tyrannical ruler to the people. Tyrannical ruler to the people, but for the little prince, he has been a loving and affectionate, AFFECTIONATE, a loving and affectionate father. A loving and affectionate father. Right. Please quote this part. He was filled with bitter grief for the grim tyrant who had been such a terror to others, had always been gentle with him. The prince also begins to feel lonely, lonely, destitute, abandoned, in the world. In the world. He is, next sentence, he is filled with self-sympathy, S-Y-M-P-A-T-H-Y, self-sympathy, because he is now an orphan child. He is now an orphan child, O-R-P-H-A, Nanath, orphan child, without parents, and a home to live. Without parents and home to live. Without parents and home to live. Home to live. Full stop. However, in the same instant, his heart is filled with a proud feeling. His heart is filled with a proud feeling. A proud feeling. When he comes to know that he is not a prince now. He is not a prince now, but the King of England. The King of England. King of England. Please quote. He thought, how grand and strange it seems. I am king. How grand and strange it seems. I am king. However, this kingship is only nominal. And paradoxical. 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 Because he is a king. Because he is a king without, he is a king without a crown, C-R-O-W, crown, a throne, T-H-R-O-N-E, throne, a palace, and thereby without any power, and thereby without any power in hand, and thereby without any power in hand. In hand. Full stop. Next paragraph. The other main incident in this chapter, is the princess meeting with John Canty at the London Bridge. Right? Now, chapter 75, page 75, page 75 is about some description about London Bridge. I will skip that part, then go to the main plot. Go to next page, 76, second paragraph. 76, second paragraph. Hendon's lodgings. Now we know Miles Hendon is taking the prince away to his lodgings. Lodgings means his hotel, his place of living. Hendon's lodgings were in Little Inn. It was a little inn. Inn means hotel. Little hotel on the bridge. As he neared the door, when Hendon came to that room with his small friend, now we know Hendon's small friend is the prince. A rough voice said, a rough man spoke to them. Who do you think this rough man is? This is John Canty. Now John Canty is already there. Why? He has a reason to be there. What is his reason? Canty comes there to collect his family members, because Canty advised them to come to London Bridge if they get lost among the crowd. Therefore, he comes to this place. Ironically, Prince meets him again, John Canty. But this time, the Prince has a supporter, helper, Miles Hendon, because Hendon has promised to look after the Prince. Now, Hendon is the unanimous protector, because Hendon himself says, unanimous protector. Therefore, Prince has no reason to be afraid of. Now, Hendon and the Prince come to the London Bridge. Now, what is the situation? The situation, note it down, please. Note down. The situation takes place when Hendon and the Prince come to the London Bridge. The situation takes place when Hendon and the Prince come to the London Bridge. Right. Now, John Canty is the speaker. He says, so thou art come at last. Thou art, you are. You are. You have come at last. He refers to the Prince. Thou refers to Prince. Thou will not escape again. You will not escape again. Canty says, I will not let you escape again. I warrant thee, I promise. Warrant means a promise. And if I pound in thy bonds, pounding, crush, breaking, I'll be breaking your bonds to a pudding, and I'll make a pudding out of your bonds if you escape again. Now, Canty threatens the Prince using these harsh words to teach you somewhat, some lesson. Now, Canty promises heavy punishments for the little Prince if he tries to escape again. Thou will not keep us waiting another time, mayhap. I think you will not keep us waiting like this again after that punishment. John Canty put out his hand to seize the boy. Seize means catch. John Canty now tries to catch the boy, take the boy away from Hendon's hand. Now Hendon is still holding the Prince's hand. Now Canty also tries to drag away the Prince. Now Miles Hendon stepped in the way. Miles Hendon came forward. Hendon says, not too fast, friend. Don't be quick, friend. Don't be quick, friend. Thou art needlessly rough. You are unnecessarily rough. Needless means you are unnecessarily, unwantedly rough character. Methinks, I think. What is the lad to thee? What is this lad to you? This boy to you? What is the relationship between this lad and you? Hendon does not know anything about John Canty, but the Prince knows. Prince knows about John Canty. Now Hendon questions Canty, their relationship. Now Canty says, if B means is, if it is any business of thine, if it is your business of thine means your business to know, to make, meddle, finger, interfere. Meddle means in others' affairs. If your business is to interfere with others' affairs, he is my son. This boy is my son. Canty explains. Now, Prince is very angry. It's a lie. It's a lie. This man is telling lies. The prince says, cried the little king hotly. Hotly means angrily. Angrily. Then Hendon says, ball is it. Brave spoken. Brave words. I believe thee. Little boy, I believe you. Whether thy small headpiece means head, whether your head is sound or cracked. Sound means well, not mad. Cracked means sick or mad. If your head is mad or not mad, I will believe you, my boy. Hendon says, I will believe you, my boy. But whether this scurvy ruffian is a metaphor, scurvy ruffian, this notorious man, this bad guy, he refers to John Canty. If this John Canty is thy father or not, your father or not, he shall not have thee. He will not take you to beat thee, to beat you, to abuse you, to insult you. I will not let him take you. Now Hendon promises to protect the prince from John Canty. Then Hendon questions, so thou prefer to abide with me? Prefer like. Abide means live. Do you like to live with me? Hendon questions, boy, my boy, do you like to live with me? Then prince in one voice says, I do. I like, I do prefer to live with you than to live in this man. I know him not. I don't know this man. I loathe him. Loathe means hate. I hate him and will die before I go with him. Death is better for me than going with this man, Prince explains. Then John Canty says, we'll see yesterday, exclaimed John Canty. Yes, we'll see. Striding past Hendon, moving past Hendon to get at the boy. Now John Canty tries to take away the boy from Hendon's hand. By force shall he. I will take this boy forcibly, by force. Then Hendon says, now he begins his duty. He says, Hendon says, if thou do but touch him, if you touch this boy, thou animated offal, you ugly animal, you ugly animal, I will spit thee, I will cut you. Spit means cut, like a goose. Goose means duck. I will cut you into pieces like I cut a duck. Chop, 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 chop. And then threatens these words with the sword in his hand. Said Hendon, bar in the way, protect in the way, block in the way. Barring means blocking. Laying his hand upon his sword hilt. Laying his hand upon his sword hilt, handle of the sword. Holding. Now he's getting ready to take out the sword and chop Hendon into, Canty into pieces. Then Hendon further says, I took this boy, this lad means boy, under my protection. Now remember, this boy is under my protection. When a mob of such as thou, when a group of people like you would have mishandled him, mistreated him, may have killed him, they would have killed this boy. I rescued. this boy from those people. Now Hendon appears to protect the prince. Protect the prince. Otherwise, John Canty may take him away, may have killed him. Thus imagine, do you think I will desert him now? I will give him up now. I will give it to you now, to a worse fate. Worse fate is a metaphor. To another bad man, to another notorious man. Do you think I will give this boy to another notorious man? No, never, never, never. For whether thou art his father or not, if you are his father or not, actually, so to say, really to say, I think it's a lie. I think it's a lie. You are not this boy's father. Because there is a great difference between you and this boy. This boy. Such as, right, it's a lie. A decent, swift death, very respectable, quick death is better for such a lad, is good for such a boy than a life in such a brute hands. Such a brute hands means very bad hands. It refers to John Canty. Death is better for this boy than a life with you, as thine like yours. So go thy ways, go away without troubling us. Said quickly leave this place. Because I like not much bending, much wasting. I don't like to waste my words. Bending of words means I don't want to waste my words, because be not over patient. I am not patient. I have very little bit of patience. Therefore, please go away. In my nature, I am an impatient character in my nature. Before I attack you, please go away. Now in this way, John Canty is driven away by Miles Hendon. John Canty moved off. John Canty went away, muttering threats, speaking threatening words and curses, blames, abusive words, and was disappeared. Swallowed means disappeared from the sight in the crowd among the people. Now in this way, John Canty cannot take away the prince because of Hendon. Now Hendon begins his duty, unanimous duty of protecting the prince. Right, write down. When Hendon and the prince reached the London Bridge, reached the London Bridge, John Canty is already there, expecting to meet, expecting to meet his family members, his family members, his family members who are lost, who are lost in their escape, who are lost in their escape. Lost in their escape. Hendon begins his unanimous, UNIMOUS, unanimous duty of protecting the prince, when Canty tries to take away him, take away him. Take away him. Take away him. As John Canty has no option, he leaves the prince, who is under Hendon's protection. Okay, then write down subtitle. Miles Hendon's experiences with the prince. Right. We'll discuss from there next week. And let's go to the poem, To the Nile. Right. Now I think you can share. You can share the screen now. Right, To the Nile. Did I explain this poem? Or am I to explain it?
Sir, you explained the poem last week.
I explained.
Yes, sir.
All right, then let's write down the note. To the Nile, John Keats. John Keats. Write down the topic. Okay, write down John Keats. John Keats. John Keats. John Keats was an English poet. Was an English poet who belongs to belong to B-L-O-N-G-D, belong to who belong to romantic poets. Romantic poets who appreciated, share the screen, who appreciated the aesthetic, AES, AES, aesthetic aspects of life and nature. Aesthetic aspect of life and nature. Life and nature. Life and nature. Full stop. Keats writes this poem Keats writes this poem in a poetic competition, in a poetic competition with his fellow poet, Leigh Hunt, with his fellow poet Leigh Hunt. Leigh Hunt. Leigh Hunt. When Leigh Hunt, next sentence, when Leigh Hunt writes WRITS, writes, appreciating the Nile, appreciating the Nile. Keats, Keats writes, Keats writes, critically against Leighton's ideas about the Nile. Leighton's ideas about the Nile. Right. Comment. The poem to the Nile. The poem to the Nile. The poem to the Nile is a Petrarchan sonnet addressed addressed to the Nile, addressed to the Nile. Full stop. The Nile is believed to be the Nile is believed to be the Nile is believed to be the longest river, the longest river in the world, and it has a great influence. It has a great influence, INFLUENC, influence upon on the people of Africa and Egypt. On the people of Africa and Egypt. Go on, write in next sentence. The first two lines of the poem, or sonnet, depict depict how Africans and Egyptians refer to the Nile. Please quote those two lines. Quote Karana. Like this. Son of the old moon mountains, African, chief of the pyramids and crocodile. Go on write in. The Africans and Egyptians have a mythical belief, mythical belief, BELIEF, Mithya Viswas, a mythical belief that the Nile is a holy and sacred river, which begins its journey from heaven, 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 from heaven. Heaven. Therefore, the Nile is personified. Therefore, the Nile is personified, PERSONIFIED, personified as the sun, highlight, as the sun of the old moon mountains, highlight, as the son of the old moon mountains. full stop. The parents of this, the parents of the Nile, next sentence, the parents of the Nile are, the parents of the Nile are high mountains which reach up to, which reach, R-E-A-C-H, reach up to the moon. The moon. Full stop. The noun moon, the noun, noun moon, highlight moon, has indirect reference to heaven and divine, D-I-V-I-N-E, divine, heaven and divine aspects. Heaven and divine aspects. Heaven and divine aspects. Therefore, it is implied that the Nile's parents have a divine origin. Origin means birth. A divine origin, or R-I-G-I-N, origin, and consequently, C-O-N, consequently. Consequently, as a result, consequently, the Nile also has a divine origin. divine origin. Full stop. And the sacred river, next sentence, and the sacred, S-A-C-R-E-D, sacred river and the sacred river is further considered, F-U-R-T-H-E-R, further considered, C-O-N-S-I-D-E-R-E-D, considered as, further considered as a leader, as a leader to the mammoth, M-A-M-O-T-H, M-A-M-O-T-H, mammoth means very large, enormous in size. Mammoth pyramids, and ferocious, F-E-R-O-C-I-O-U-S, ferocious crocodiles, ferocious crocodiles, ferocious crocodiles. Full stop. Thus, 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 next sentence, thus, thus, the above lines of the sonnet, thus, the above lines of the sonnet depict the Nile's holy, respectable, situation, in Africa and Egypt. And Africa and Egypt. In Africa and Egypt. Next paragraph. In this octave, did I give you that word, octave? Right. In this octave, this is octave. Octave means 8 lines. Octave. Now, Petrarchan sonnet is divided into 2 parts. The first 8 lines are called the octave. 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 The remaining 6 lines, they are called sestet. Right. Go right in this octave of the sonnet. In this octave of the sonnet, John Keats presents his problem with the aspects of the Nile, as the Africans and Egyptians believe. Believe, B-L-I-E-V-E, full stop. He does not believe. He does not believe in the Nile as they believe. He has some, next sentence, he has some doubtful, D-O-U-B-T-L, D-O-U-B-T-F-U-L, D-O-U-B-T-F-U, doubtful feelings he has some doubtful feelings. He has some doubtful feelings regarding the Nile's apostrophes, regarding the Nile's divine power, and leadership in the area. Leadership in the area. Leadership in the area. Full stop. Next sentence. The following lines of the sonnet, the following lines in the octave area. The following lines in the octave the following lines in the octave depict his suspicious feelings, SUSPICIOUS, suspicious feelings about the Nile's capacities, abilities, skills, talents, capacities, about the Nile's capacities. Caught these lines? We call the fruitful and that very while a desert fills our feelings inward span. Gone right in. The poet is doubtful about the Nile's resourcefulness resourcefulness and its contribution CONTRIBUTION, contribution to the land through which THROUGH, through which WHICH, through which it flows, 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 through which it flows. Because on either side, both sides, either side, EITHER, on either side of the river, there is a vast desert There is a vast desert as far as the eye can see. EYE, EYE, as far as the eye can see. I can see. Full stop. The poet implies that the Nile's divine power, the Nile's divine power is paradoxical. 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 The Nile is believed to be the Nile is believed to be the Nile is believed to be a fruitful river, a fruitful river a fruitful river, but there is an empty barren land, empty, E-M-P-T-Y, empty barren, B-A-R-R-E-N, barren land on both sides of the river. On both sides of the river. On both sides of the river. Full stop. If the Nile is so fruitful, if the Nile is so fruitful, so fruitful that there should be a lush green land. There should be a lush, L-U-S-H, lush green land, instead of a desert. Instead of a desert. Full stop. Next sentence. In this octave, the poet argues, argues about the Nile's supportive role, ROL, supportive role on the hard-working people of Africa. Please quote these lines. Nurse of sought nations, since the world began, art thou so fruitful. Nurse of sought nations, since the world began, art thou so fruitful. Art thou so fruitful. Go on writing. The Nile is regarded as the protector and the caretaker. As the protector and the caretaker, of Africans. The poet questions if the Nile has such a caring and protection over those people. Over those people. Over those people. Over those people. The poet argues that the Nile deceitfully the Nile deceitfully, DECEITFULLY. The Nile deceitfully receives, RECEIVS, receives the people's respect, honor, and reverence, 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 by playing a false powerful character, a false powerful character, a false powerful character. Powerful character. Next paragraph. In the next sestet, Keats expresses the solution. Keats expresses the solution to the problem about the Nile, mentioned in the octave mentioned in the octave. Mentioned in the octave. He points out that the Nile has a superior place, superior, S-U-P-E-R-I-O-R, superior place as a result of people's apostrophe s, people's, as a result of people's ignorance, I-G-N-O-R-A-N-C-E, people's ignorance and blind faith and the viswasa, blind faith. People's ignorance and blind faith. Please quote these lines. It is ignorance that makes a barren waste. It is ignorance that makes a barren waste. Go on writing. Keats explains, E-X-P-L-A-I-N-S, explains that when people are uneducated, and knowledgeless, uneducated and knowledgeless, they become idiots and fools. IDIOTS, idiots and fools. And fail to realize truth, T-R-U-T-H, truth. fails to realize truth. The metaphor, next sentence, the metaphor barren waste highlight the metaphor barren waste means the people's emptiness. The people's emptiness, ignorance, and lack of wisdom. LACK, lack of wisdom in understanding nature. In understanding nature. Full stop. Keats implies that such people can be easily cheated. Can be easily cheated. Can be easily cheated. Next paragraph. By ending the sonnet, Keats mentions that the Nile is another river of the world with its own natural beauty. With its own natural beauty. With its own natural beauty. It shines under the bright sun. It shines under the bright sun and is embellished, EMBALISHED, is embellished with beautiful green islands, with beautiful green islands, and gracefully, GRACEFULLY, gracefully flows into the sea, flows into the sea, ending its journey, ending its journey. Please quote these 3 lines. Green rushes ending its journey at the sea. Quote these 3 lines. Right. Go on writing. In this way, John Keats rejects all mythical, MYTHICAL, all mythical values, all mythical and superstitious, 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 superstitious values and powers, values and powers attached, values and powers attached to the Nile, attached to the Nile, but he agrees with, the natural beauties, but he agrees with the natural beauties of it. Natural beauties of it. Natural beauties of it. Right. Natural beauties of it.